Pakistanis are very hungry to hear a new story of Pakistan. They're being fed the bad story of Pakistan and you should leave the country if you're educated, right? That's kind of the mindset, that's kind of what you hear what you feel, right? The story of it's a land of opportunities and a place for which foreigners can come and work here. They find it shocking that I could basically say that Pakistan is seen as a place of innovation, of creativity, right? For which not only that the youth gets inspired, your own youth gets inspired not to leave the country, not to just dismiss Pakistan as we're screwed up, right? I have to do the work on all those meetings, right? And then I have the information, right? But otherwise, from the outside, unless you have the network, you won't find like those gaps. You will opportunity see it from.
I see a startup right there.
I see a startup right there.
So hi everyone, today I'm here with Adrian. Adrian has been strolling around Pakistan for the last 3 months, which is very exciting because I love to see and meet people who have spent time here because, they say that you see things based on what you know. So since you have been a world traveler, you have done this, been there, done that, you see Pakistan in a very different lens. You have a glass on, which majority of the country people cannot see. You see the opportunities locals cannot see. You see things broken which others cannot see broken. You see opportunities which others cannot see. And I see myself as an ecosystem builder. I want to understand how we can take advantage of the ecosystem of the planet, because a lot of ecosystems is sitting idle on the planet. There's tons and tons of cities in the world which are not being used. The infrastructure is dying just because there is no human being. And over here, there's too many human beings. Infrastructure is not being used. On the other hand, lots of people are trying to make more babies. There's too many babies. So how do we take advantage of the global scene? What can we do? Because you also have a lens for Mexico, a developing country. You have been to Southeast Asia, Thailand, Indonesia. All these places have been where we are. And you as a connector, as you introduce yourself as a connector, I want to hear from you what you saw in Pakistan as an opportunity, let's do a simple SWOT analysis. What do you see as a threat? What you see as opportunity? What you see as other things? So
thank
you for being here.
No. Thanks for having me. So I came to Pakistan on a blank slate. Before coming here, I knew just 3 people, right? So I really came with a sole purpose to explore the ecosystem, the culture, the country, and what kind of big problems was Pakistan having, right? So that was my initial mindset before coming here, and my plan was to be here 2 or 3 weeks, 4
maximum.
Yeah, and I've been over 3 months now, right?
Is that a good thing or is that?
That is, for me, it's like a massive thing, right? Because I've been literally on the road for the last 7 years. Without a home, like an apartment, like a rental.
Like a total nomad.
Yes, and I've been living in 20 different countries. I've traveled 86 different countries.
Nice.
I was born in Mexico. I'm a U.S. resident. I'm an Irish citizen as well, right? So yeah, and I haven't been just like a tourist, like a Western go-out tourist in these places. No, I've been meeting people, meeting startups, meeting ecosystem builders, meeting investors, and kind of digging into ecosystems, seeing what the opportunities, challenges, and the gaps, gaps that could be bridged, right? So I came to Pakistan exactly with that, right? And see, number one, Pakistan is a country that matters. Why? Because geopolitically speaking, it's a complicated spot, right? You got very tricky neighbors, right? You got India, you got China, you got Afghanistan, you got Iran. So that makes the whole interesting and complicated at the same time, right? So that's first. Second, 250 million people, 65% of population under 35 years of age, right? So demographics are perfect, right, as well. So I knew that from the starting point in terms of location, but I didn't know exactly like how was it going to be here, like from the people who I'll be meeting, like in terms of the receptiveness of me being a foreigner here and trying to dig into the ecosystem and trying to make connections happen. That was my big question mark.
How
right?
would the people perceive you?
Yeah, because maybe they think, oh, this is a foreigner, Western guy coming here and like trying to, I don't know, just like put in whatever image on Pakistan. But honestly, for me, it's like, for us Western people, you know, all we hear about Pakistan is just TPP, right? And Taliban, and because that's what the media.
Did you get to meet them?
Not yet. Not yet.
Would you like me to hook you up?
Well, I'll think about it, about that.
How about a Zoom call? They can't blow you up.
Yeah, exactly. So, you know, that's what we hear. So ultimately I came here and then I start having because I've been working in tech and developing ecosystems, right? And then how can tech enable and solve the biggest problems that emerging markets are having? Because I think
I want to pause you for a second before we get into deeper.
Yeah.
How do I get 1,000 more people to do what you did? Because before you even entered, you knew nothing about it, you knew nobody about it, and it's not Thailand, just people don't show up. It's not Istanbul, people don't just show up. How do we get more people to just show up? Because if you show up, a lot of people will see opportunity because they have been to other places. How do I get 1,000 more people, Adrians, to follow your footsteps?
I think I
want to like understand the philosophy and reverse it. Why Pakistan is so much more?
Yes, it's just, I tell you, this is the formula. Basically, it's us as Western people, we talk to our friends and we ask them, so where did you go? How was that? How was the experience? No friends from my network have been here.
So curiosity.
Yes, and then I literally made the jump because it's like, I from my direct network, nobody has been to Pakistan, right?
Oh.
I knew let me tell you, I met a random Argentinian couple in 2015 in Kyrgyzstan, and who told me about Pakistan. But
Who planted the seed?
Huh?
Are those the ones who planted the seed of coming here?
They mentioned, dude, Pakistan has incredible mountains, and Pakistanis are so nice, crazy nice. So that stayed since 2015.
That's
right?
what they said to you.
Yeah. So, but that's it. Apart from that, just really not much content coming from my network about what's going on in Pakistan. So, to answer your question, yes, you need those connectors to get more traction to basically tell a different story about Pakistan. And I think this could be contentious, but I think it has to come from a non-Pakistani point of view, you know, because Pakistani, it's like me talking about Latin America, right? It's like saying, we're much better than Americans because we're Latin. Our culture is cooler, we speak Spanish, our music, you know.
Our guacamole is better.
So I'm biased in a way, right? Because it's my culture in a way, right? But here, I literally have no attachment to Pakistan, right? So I'm telling the story from scratch, from foreigner, is like, yes, there's this side that people talk about Pakistan, but there's this amazing opportunities, right? That I mentioned. There's no competition here, meaning there's no tons of foreigners trying to create and build partnerships here, right? Bridging those gaps. You get this kind of connectors in Southeast Asia. They're there. They're in South Asia. They are in China. India has amazing network diaspora, right? Indian diaspora in the US is super strong. You get all Indian Americans in SF in New York building bridges between US and India, right? So there's this bridges happening, right? But with Pakistan, I
didn't find them.
Nope.
So how do I get more agents to come in?
Yeah, so basically that's been my job here, right? So I've been interviewing tech CEOs, tech leaders, and even normal people who build like a social media presence, you know, like normal people who build like a good community online to tell their story, you know? So I basically want to show and meet those people who have an interesting story of how they created a difference in their life and how they created impact in their communities, right? So tell the story of what is going on in Pakistan from a kind of non-biased perspective, right?
But that's
And-
what you will do.
Yes.
What should I do and others do to bring more, to have this accident of curiosity happen so that more Adrians just buy the ticket and just come over?
Yeah, so
Any
also
ideas?
success stories, right? Success stories. So we hear about, entrepreneurs in Thailand and Indonesia and Vietnam, and, you hear in China and so on and so forth of this company grew to X, this company grew to Y. So we hear, there's, this interesting, innovative people working on something in this country, right? Promise in Pakistan, no, right?
So more storytellers.
More storytellers.
Now we have ChatGPT. Let's type more stories.
More stories about what people are creating, building, Also, I think I feel Pakistanis are very confused people, I feel you're not Middle Eastern, but you're not Hindu, right? So, and you're not Afghan either, and you're not Central Asian, right? You're your own thing.
Your own thing.
So in terms of telling the culture, what's the Pakistani culture, it's a complicated answer, right? Even for me, it was like,
Even for Pakistanis.
yeah, what's Pakistan like? I'm very confused as well. It's like, because it's a blend of so many
countries
different
within.
influences, right? Yeah. So for us as foreigner, it's also tricky to understand what's going on there in Pakistan. What's the cultural thing we need to discover, In India, it's very easy. Yoga, meditation, sadhu, Gandhi, right? Okay, Pakistan, you got Jinnah, you got...
No, we have chicken tikka.
chicken tikka.
Yeah, that's our culture. Nihari, biryani, that's Pakistan.
Yeah, but you got the mountains, you got this blend of cultures, right? And that creates Pakistan, right? So to give you a story, I was in a bus in Hunza, and I met this guy, comes in with a shalwar kameez with blonde and blue eyes. I'm like, what, are you German? Are you French? No, I'm from Swat, Chitral, sorry. He was Chitralese. And he was speaking Chitralese. I was like, wow, he's like a totally white dude, and he's Pakistani. So that goes to show that Pakistan is not one ethnicity, it's not one culture, it's really a blend. So that also, it's complicated for Pakistanis to tell the story of what's Pakistani culture, So that's another problem, right? So it's an opportunity, but it hasn't been. Pakistan has a PR problem.
Storytelling is bad.
problem big time.
Yeah,
right?
even we didn't even catch TTP. We don't even, as I was saying, if we have Osama, we didn't catch it. We're not even the villain. We're not even getting paid for being the villain in the story of the world.
Exactly.
So we just don't tell good stories. That's a problem.
I think India and even Bangladesh has somewhat told a not bad story, And Bangladesh is smaller, geopolitically speaking, less of an interesting place, right? But
they have one language. It's easier for them.
Exactly.
I don't know. But I don't want to compare because, as you said, Pakistan is it's a weird of its own kind.
Yes.
It's a weirdness of its own kind.
So that's to continue in terms of the opportunities, right? So yeah, like a young population. And what I did realize is Pakistanis are very hungry to hear a new story of Pakistan. They're being fed the bad story of Pakistan and you should leave the country if you're educated, right? That's kind of the mindset, that's kind of what you hear what you feel, right? The story of it's a land of opportunities and a place for which foreigners can come and work here. They find it shocking that I can basically say that,
I tell this all the time, but I have been begging the government. Even last night, I made a post, I made videos. Please introduce nomad visas. Please introduce long-term visas for foreigners. Because as a foreigner, coming here and living here long-term is very, very hard. And it's a very cheap country to live in. It's a very, I would say, convenient country to live in. If you go into Bahariya town, Karachi, you can live like a landlord on a rent from a house in New York City or even a small town.
I tell you, I've been in 86 different countries. The only 3 countries that match the level of hospitality, it's Iran and Syria. That's it. Nowhere else you get this level of hospitality.
Nice.
Meaning that people are so nice to you. Like,
I think they're hungry for being nice because nobody comes to them. So they're
Exactly.
just like, oh, here's the Gora. Let's catch him. Let's feed him. Let's feed him. Let's feed him.
yeah. So that's my point. That's why for me, obviously, it's this tipping point as in the tech revolution needs to happen here. Like the massive tech revolution needs to happen. And who are those key actors who enable it? Or it might not happen.
It's going to happen. We're not going to let it go away.
Okay, so this is the discussion I've been having. This tech revolution has not happened in Pakistan, and it should happen, right? And who are those key enablers to make it happen, right? So this is why when I'm here, I'm sort of,
I'll
I see
introduce you
this.
to all of them. Don't worry about it.
I'm impressed by how on such a tipping point Pakistan is at the moment, right? Which the demographics and all the things we talked about of this tech revolution, meaning that Pakistan is seen as a place of innovation, of creativity, right? For which not only that the youth gets inspired, your own youth gets inspired not to leave the country, not to just dismiss Pakistan as we're screwed up, right? But no, it's like,
It has to come from you, same that you were telling. Because when we tell it, they don't believe it. They say like, no, you're just being a father or an older brother. And,
Yep.
But when it comes from you, that you, dude, I'm here because I see opportunity. I'm here because I think this is the land of opportunity because everything is broken. You can fix anything and make $1 billion out of it.
Yes.
That's where the opportunity is. That's why the guy who runs SadaPay, sold his business in the US and moved here.
yes.
So many people, but they keep hiding the story. That's the challenge. I mean, I'm so happy that you actually came to the platform and you're talking about it, and thank you for that. And that's why I was stopping you and saying, how do I get 1,000 more people to just come in, just hang out, just feel the presence, just eat the food, just meet the people. And we will make you fall in love with parts of us, and we will make you hate us for part of the other parts. But the opportunity is phenomenal. And if you have the network, for example, hopefully, hopefully in a month's time, I will get you a few thousand more followers on here, which means that these people are hungry to actually know you, hungry to actually work with you, hungry to actually do something with you. And we need more people who want the more connectors of the world. Please connect me to them who you think I should be connected to. I would be happy to bring them here, introduce them to people, and everything is now, the bandwidth is so highly available, we can do it online. I mean, you don't have, if you're scared, as I said, conversation is so important, even if it's TTP, I don't mind. I will get you the connection. Let's make them into startups, right?
Yes.
So whatever your goal is, there are multiple ways to achieve it. So it doesn't have to be bombs and everything. There's so many other ways to do it also, right? So let's make a startup to whatever you want to achieve. So
anything else you want to cover?
What are the opportunities if you want to identify 4 things? What are the opportunities you see for foreigners to come into Pakistan and take advantage of or help grow and create businesses of?
Yeah, so I think one opportunity is mapping the ecosystem, like what's happening here in terms of verticals, startups, opportunities, challenges, like more information about what's going on here, because it's pretty...
You can't find, there's too much noise. Yes. Foggy.
Exactly. You need to meet quite a lot. You need to do a lot of the work I've been doing to kind of get a sense of what's happening in Pakistan.
Makes sense.
Just Googling.
You can't find information.
You can't find anything, right? So that would be the main challenge, to know what's happening.
We can't even find information.
Yeah. So it's like I have to do the work on all those meetings, right? And then I have the information, right? But otherwise, from the outside, unless you have the network, you won't find like those gaps. You will opportunity see it from.
I see a startup right there.
I see a startup right there.
Right.
Yeah. So that would be one: information mapping, verticals, gaps, pain points.
Let's do a startup on that. I'll get you 4 more founders and just do it.
Perfect. The second one will be on what I mentioned a little bit, and this is related to other ecosystems, which is the diaspora, right? The diaspora network, because the diasporas have a big impact in the countries. Why? Because they reinvest you know, whatever they created, reinvest in their motherland, quote unquote. Reinvest by creating initiatives, by creating organizations, by enabling, right? And I think the Pakistani diaspora is not re-engaging well with Pakistan, right?
It keeps busy sending money to us, but it's not engaging with us.
Yes, exactly. So I feel we as foreigners, we need to kind of even push the diaspora to, dude, there's great opportunities here to re-engage with Pakistan, right? Or if not, we just, if other foreigners
You take advantage. No problem.
We'll go for it, right?
You be the British East India Company, no problem.
Right. The other point, obviously, talent, right? So yeah, amazing workforce, right? English. I reiterate, English speaking workforce. In Thailand, in Vietnam, yes, they speak English, but it's not as fluent.
Sawadee krap.
So like, kapung kap, sawadee kap. Yes, so that's but it's not only also it's that, but also the right skills, right? And this is a big problem I've been having discussion with. The skills might not match the marketplace, right? And that needs to be bridged in terms of what the marketplace needs and what the skill sets are, right? Yeah. So one thing that foreigners need to consider is like, yeah, you can get a lot of people, amazing raw skills, English speaking, but there has to be some development work to bridge those skills, you know, up to par, you know?
This is Senegal. We have the diamonds.
Yes.
You be the polishing company and come in and polish skills.
Exactly.
We're almost there.
Yep.
10% problem is there, the polishing part. The diamond is here. Yep. You have to polish it, right?
Exactly.
Is that what you're saying?
Yes. So the question is, who does the polishing, right?
I'm here to polish if you pick up the diamonds.
Exactly. So it's like there has to be an actor to do the polishing and then siphon.
Yeah. We need the bridges are missing.
Yes.
We have the factories to polish, but we don't have the unfortunately, the ecosystem is not complete yet. The bridges is not complete yet to deliver the polished product in the US, in Mexico, in UK, in Ireland, wherever. I mean, the people are phenomenal. They're the same everywhere, but it's just the 10-20% product is not ready yet. Its raw material is here.
Exactly.
But we have to polish them and we have to bring it out, right? So that's...
And this is my shock, is how come nobody's polishing? You know, it's like
a lot of people
are locals polishing. They're getting there, but they still, like you said, you know,
250 million people.
Yes.
The largest influencer of this country only has 3 million people who are following him. 77 million people don't follow any of those people who are polishing people. So the masses are still to be fed, and this all 77 million, majority of it came in the last 3 years of COVID. And because of COVID, Pakistan's population went from 20 million smartphones to 150 million smartphones. So in my books, Pakistan grew 7 times in the last 3 years only.
Yes.
So the growth has been so phenomenal that nobody has been able to catch up with it except maybe the Raz, who really took advantage of it and who are really doing a fantastic job. But none of the local players understand the mass curve which it has brought up, and people are spilling over, people are being educated by overseas people, but they're not just being educated. That's the thing. And another thing is they just started to use a smartphone. So they're just the TikTokers right now, they're just the WhatsAppers now, but after 2-3 years you get bored and you're like, okay, now I'm in the, I passed the kindergarten, now I want to be in the 2nd grade. What do I do now? So they're kind of lost. And we're not taking the advantage of the people.
The work that you're doing is very interesting in terms of upscaling the population and building their online presence, right? With the work that they can do. And that could be an excellent platform, not just for hiring, but for collaboration, you know, in terms of there's this pool of talent, you know, and creators for which, there might be different levels of development, but there's great opportunities to collaborate, right? Either in content, in either like creating local, you know, marketing digitally a product, you know, whatever somebody comes up with, like, I don't know, creative sort of digitalized truck art shapes and creates like a 3D printed version, you know?
I'm building a bridge, which I have no idea where it leads to, and I'm hoping there's somebody else building the bridge from the other side, so we can just meet in the middle.
Yes.
So I believe that those people are coming, just like you just popped in today.
Yep.
I did not expect you,
Yep.
and I think there are others who are going to come, and that's the population I'm building on. I'm trying to get them, because I understand they're in the nursery school.
Yep.
I cannot teach them more than Canva or Fiverr for now, because they're mentally incapable of understanding what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
So we have to lower them in. I tell them openly, I'm lowering you in. I'm kind of tricking you into trying to teach you to make $500, but I'm actually grooming you to becoming an international citizen.
Yes.
So that you can take advantage of the opportunities out there, because you don't even see, even if you see it, it's like German to you. You don't understand what's going on.
Yep.
And what we are trying to do in our institutions are trying to make them into a more global citizens. If you see the pictures of the people, if you see the selfies, I'm trying to break their shell. They're hiding inside their egg or in the cocoons. I'm trying to get them, hey, come on, you're a butterfly. Come on, you have to get out and come out of the cocoon so you can actually fly. And this whole thing is a open sourced kernel for a Linus made, so that people can actually take the code and then make it into the Red Hat version of it or whatever version of it they want to make it. So this is all like an open source space, so that we have cameras which you can see online. Everything is open. So you can come in and spy on us and steal everything which we can. All the ideas are for free, so that please replicate everything. And they don't give us credit, of course. Nobody gives Linus, nobody even knows what who Linus is. And we just steal. We just, as human beings, we're like, no, I came up with this. Okay, fine, you came up with this. So just do it. But this is what I'm creating. I'm allowing them to see everything, be the stupid monkey man dancing around, and giving them a process to copy, scale, and then take it to the next level. So that's what, if you will probably go to the school and you will see here, we're trying to, as I said, we're trying to create the basic kernel of the operating system, which will hopefully accelerate the whole country in a way where we can be the person we should be. Like the school, we have the fundamental is that as a student of 7th grade, if you don't make $250 a month, we flunk you. We don't send you to 8th grade. And we don't charge you any fees. You have to make that money. It's not an option. It's like going to maths and failing. If you don't know how to make money online, you fail. You have to go over that again. I mean, that's a totally different thing. 50% of the country is out of school. So if I'm successful in doing that, everybody will copy the model, because now all of a sudden they can ask 10 times more money in fees, so that this kid can actually come to school, actually learn regular schooling and freelancing and whatnot. So that's kind of what we're working on. So item number 3.
Item number 3 would be...
So first is a directory, a catalog of everything, so that you can come in. Second is to have more talent. The talent should be polished.
Yes, definitely. Number 3, I guess, would be on the... Well, I talked about the diaspora, right? But I think I will focus also on... Okay, let's talk about infrastructure a little bit. So when I first arrived here in Karachi, that was my first point. I logged in. So I was coming from Georgia, the country. And before that, I was in Turkey, every country in the Balkans, right? And I logged in and I was like, wow, the Wi-Fi is so fast. I was shocked. Yes. I was like, wow, the baseline is covered, fast connection. Looks like Pakistan, it's the most hidden gem ever, right? I never imagined that I was going to experience that level of fast Wi-Fi. Because for me, I upload tons of videos, and for me, fast Wi-Fi is key, right? It's a key factor for me to remain in a country, right? Philippines. I spent 3 months in the Philippines, but I was it was painful experience in the Philippines because Wi-Fi is shit there. You struggle. You need to use your 4G just to do anything, right? I don't know. Maybe it got better. Sorry, Filipinos, but it's really crap, right? So I struggle in Philippines. I struggle in Turkey. In Turkey is absolute crap.
And it's expensive.
Yes.
Here it's like $4 for unlimited internet, and Turkey is like $25 for the same.
Yes. So I was telling my Turkish friends, guys, seriously, it's like worse than anywhere. So point number 3 is infrastructure. You are almost there, meaning fast Wi-Fi, cool working spaces, right? And this is like I'm gonna talk about the Hive because they're being so nice to me, the co-working space. They allow me in and they said, yeah, you can work from here and you can do interviews here, just tag us on your social media. And they've connected me with so many different startups. So
I'm gonna match the offer.
So the Hive, So the Hive have been an enabler for me. They allowed me into their space here, and in Islamabad, they connected me with a lot of startups. And so the point number 3, it's the connectivity, infrastructure is there, the communities starting to be there, but there's no active communities that kind of meet up in the regular basis to create noise, right? There's not enough noise around communities.
People don't understand it.
And innovation, right? So, for example, another factor is like when people go to Bali, they see all these meetups of digital nomads, all these people hanging around, and they're meeting up. Everyone's Islamabad, 0, right? Here, there's more action happening, right?
I would disagree.
Still, for the density that you guys have, there's not much going on, right? So 3, infrastructure, some development, but it's getting there. Community level, lacking, right? In terms of just people coming together, talking about their failures, their successes, just building those connections face to face, right? That's lacking, right? And that's consistent, that it's growing, that it's other people just randomly Google and they see Pakistan tech meetup on blockchain. Just by accident found that link, browsing somewhere else, oh, this event looks interesting. And then they dig in more and they realize, Pakistan has an active community with co-working spaces, fast Wi-Fi, and there's all this, so it's just building a story, right? A digital sort of breadcrumbs about ecosystems, right? So that would be number 3. And number 4, that's a tough one because I think I mentioned most, but so
till you come up, I'll make it smaller. Hello, digital nomads, anywhere you are. This is a social media incubator in Karachi. We have studios for you to record your videos. We have coffee shop where you can have fantastic food and coffee. We have a hangout space on the roof. We'll build you other stuff, but you can come here and spend a month, absolutely no charge, 4 hours a day. Take it on us. We're also building a small little hotel right behind our incubator so you can actually come and stay here. And we have the fastest internet in the city, 350 megabit of internet, which you can use to upload your videos like zoop. And if you're not here in Karachi, you're missing on it. So be here.
This one might be, number 4, might be limited, but I think now it would still play a key role, right? So being a foreigner, this is to my foreigner friends, right? And this, sorry for not Pakistanis, but so I've measured what it means to be a foreigner, what kind of privilege you get in what countries, right? How rules apply to you as a foreigner versus not, right? So I get some benefits in Southeast Asia. Thailand, so because so many
are there.
So many farang, they call farang there, right? So Vietnam there's many more getting there, so it's becoming more normal, right?
Here there's none.
Yeah, exactly, right?
So you're like a king. Hello,
but
sire.
in Pakistan, there's diplomats in Islamabad. I met 3 foreigners in Hunza. That's it. That's really it. There's nobody.
And you're privileged, right?
It's
Do you
crazy.
Feel privileged?
It's crazy. So for foreigner friends coming here, you're the highest level possible right now in the world.
Yeah. And you can how do you leverage it?
you can leverage for everything.
Yeah.
You can literally go out in the streets and say, I have no money, can you help me? And you'll survive in Pakistan. Right?
That's true.
You can get, if you pitch yourself even just properly, you can meet anyone here. You know, if you're doing some interesting thing and then you pitch yourself.
President would open the door.
Yeah, open the door, right? Locals will open the door because they're so hungry on, oh, you came to Pakistan, right?
Yeah.
You're interested in our culture, no? So, मेरा नाम Adrian है, मैं अमेरिका से हूँ, पाकिस्तानी लोग बहुत मेहरबान है. So, I've learned even Urdu, right? So when I start speaking Urdu, locals are like, wow, you know, it's like you learn some Urdu, you know? Like,
we're very appreciative of, as I said, we're desperate to meet foreigners, and money don't show up. A friend of mine we hosted through COVID, she said that, you know, after 2 months of staying here, she said, like, Pakistanis are like kids hiding behind the door. They see a foreigner, they're like this. And then they slowly look at you, and then you say, come on over. And then because you say, come on over, they're like, the one come, and the second come, and the third come, and they're like all over you.
Yeah.
And it's overwhelming sometimes. But yeah. So I'm very thankful that you were here. Thank you so much, Adrian.
No,
it was a pleasure.
That was fun. That was fun.